Be shy. I see by Shachris you're a bit shy. You're still going to the back. We're working on it slowly. I got Shmuel to come to the front now. Slowly. Nothing to be embarrassed of. All right. Okay. Yosef. Okay, Rabbi Say, get to Vach. Say everybody, let's begin and let's continue. The Gavaldige Sugya of Boire. We are in the Sugya of Kli. We said last week, let's just do a very quick recap. We said that Boire needs two conditions. Condition number one, there has to be a mixture. Condition number two, there has to be two items. When you have those two conditions together, you have now in front of you a Shaila of Boire. In order for Boire to be permitted, there has to be a fulfillment of all three conditions. You miss one of them, it's an Issa D'Oraisa. So yes, last week on Thursday, we went through one of them. We went through the Sugya of, what was it? Which one was it? I don't remember even. Exactly. So I expect you guys to remember if I don't remember, right? Which was? Biyad. No, Biyad we're doing now. Miyad. No, we didn't do that either. Huh? Very good. Shkaya Ben. We did the good guy from the bad guy, meaning that only when you take the good guy from the bad guy, we discuss what is considered to be the good guy. How do you work that out? Okay. Today we're going to go into the next sugya, which is biyad. It has to be done with your hand. And where does this come from? What's the pshat that all of a sudden you do it with your hand, it's mutter. When you do it with the kli, it's asa. Like, what's epis? Like, what's the difference? So the Gemara again, Rashi, the Rishonim say very clearly. Boire that's done on a large scale was done with utensils. Was done with specific utensils that were made for boire. That is the way to do boire. The moment you come along and you change that and you do it with your hand, that's not boire. Again, Rabbi Say, clearly Yosef, this is not a loophole in Yiddishkeit, chas v'sholem. There are no loopholes. This is poshut, it's not fitting into the hagdora of boire. Boire means to do it, number one, take the bad guy out. Number two, to do it with the kli. When you do it with the kli, that's the normal way of doing boire. The moment you do it with your hands, there's no shaila of boire. Now, there are two types of kelim, okay, that we have to know. There is what we call a Durabanan and a Doraisa kli. Nafkamina, I guess skila, korban, that would be the nafkamina. No real nafkamina is lamaisa for us, they're both asa. But on kaponim, there are certain kelim which on mamish also Doraisa, we'll call them a boire monster. These are the boire monsters. They were made. Hareini Mochen and Muzuman. The Goyim didn't have this, but they did. They made this Hareini Mochen and Muzuman to cause people to get Chas v'Shalom skila. That's what they are. Mamish, these are boire monsters. These are made to do boire. Right? A sifter, for example. What is a sifter made for? To do boire. To separate the flour from the pebbles, or to separate whatever it means, the impurities of what's going on in the liquid that you're trying to sift. So therefore, anything similar to that would be a boire d'oraisa. Whereas something which just assists boire, but was not made specifically for boire, would be mutter, meaning doraisa, but of course also midrabanan. So one of the examples would be, let's say, what the Gemara says is a funnel. What's a funnel? A funnel is where you want to get, for example, you want to pour a drink back into the bottles. You have this little piece that goes down and gets thinner to things, so you put it in. That's not made to do boire. Now you could do boire with it, but it's not made to do boire, so it's a durabanan kli when it comes to boire. So let me give you some examples. A simple example, an apple corer. Anyone knows what's an apple corer? It's a little piece, a little thing, stick it in an apple. That's a boire monster. Why is it a boire monster? Because it's made to do boire. It was made, for boire, to separate the core from the rest of the apple. So that kavod is considered to be a boire. Whereas a knife is not a boire situation. A knife wasn't made to do boire. Now it can do boire, but it's not made to do boire. It's made to cut. It's made to, slice. But it's not made to do boire, but it can help boire. So that will be, if it's used in the wrong way, a durabon. It doesn't mean that a knife is boire, but it means if you do it in the wrong way, that will be a durabonon dika boire. Maybe a nafkamina legabe, the punishment. Maybe a nafkamina if you're allowed to eat the food. At the beginning of Shin Ches talks about all those halachas. Ein shom over there. Al kaponim. Does that mean, according to what we just said, that if the whole way of doing boire that makes it mutter on Shabbos is biyad with your hand, second condition, does that mean I always have to use my hand? I can never use the keli? So when I want to take, now we understand pshat by all the Heilige Rebbes, when you go to a tish, right? What's the pshat? They're holding the salmon with their hands. I Shiloh, because they want to be a boira with the salmon, with maybe there's bones over there, and then later they want to take it out, but they want to take the salmon from the bones, biyad. They don't want to do anything else like that. It's also much more geshmak when it's been handled by another 20 people before you eat it, by the way. It's a certain kedusha, there's a certain zach, right? It's a heilige zach, nish pasha, Rabbi say. Al kaponim is rice from Avraham Avinu by Shirayim. Al kaponim, Rabbi says, moedige zach. So, does that mean I have to do everything biyad? I can never use a utensil? The answer is no. JJ, when you are using a utensil in 3 ways, then it's mutter. Okay? To use the utensil. What are those 3 ways? Listen carefully, very important. Number 1, to avoid soiling your hands. If the only reason you're using a utensil is I don't want to get my hands dirty, then it's mutter. So for example, if I want to take the tuna out of the oil, so that's the good guy from the bad guy, I'm good with condition number 1. Condition number 2 means with your hand. So I have to take it out with my hands? No. I can take it out with a fork or a spoon. Why? Because the only reason I'm using a fork is not to do boira, but it's simply to stop my hands from getting dirty, then it's going to be mutter. Number 2, to reach something that my hands can simply not reach. For example, I want to go to the bottom of the pot of chicken soup and get that piece of carrot that's at the bottom. Geschmack carrot. I just can't get there. It's going to burn my hands also, but I can't get there. So I take a big ladle, I take apples, and I go all the way down. So the only reason I'm using utensils not to do boira is simply to make the selection easier for me. And that's really condition number 3, is to make the selection easier. So for example, to use a knife to peel an apple, which again we'll have to discuss what the halachas of peels are. These are big shilas of peeling eggs, peeling bananas, peeling all sorts of things. We'll have to discuss that. But leaving out the sugya of peels at the end of the Ramah, Simon Shen Chavalav talks about the B'Shem, the Yushami, there's a Pri Megadim. We'll talk about it, but upon him in a simple way that when I'm getting something just to make it easier, then it's mutter. So I can use utensil A to allow me to get to somewhere that my hands cannot. B, to make sure that I'm not soiling or dirtying my hands. And 3, just to make the selection easier. When it's done in that way, it is okay. So to use a fork to take the chicken from the bones will be avad mutter. I'm taking the good guy from the bad guy. Obviously, miyad we'll get to tomorrow. And biyad means with my hands, which I don't have to actually use my hands, but a fork becomes, as Lashon HaMagen Avraham, an extension of my hands. Chesky, with me? Shmuel, yeah? That's a very, very important yesod. Again, very, very big malacha over here we're dealing with. So we spoke about an apple kora. There's such a thing called a olive grabber. Anyone knows what? Everyone ever saw an olive grabber? This is this little piece you put out and like the prongs come out and it chaps up. It to be so, right? Okay, at least I just want to make sure that I'm not completely crazy and there's someone else who will see the same thing. It's an olive grabber, right? They have it in Borough Park, no? Muncie. So you take that olive and you chop it out, and then depending on the rest of the jar situation with the liquid, that could be a problem of boira using a kli over there. Baby bottle. To give a baby a bottle with orange juice that has pieces inside, is that a shaila of boira? Because obviously the piece doesn't allow the pieces of the orange to come out, only allows the liquid to come out. Anyway, it's a baby which is much more makel, which is why you're allowed to give a baby all sorts of things, even if they may do things on top. It's not a shaila. I know the olim are bothered by the Gemara Yevamos Kaf base that talks about Sfir Be'edayim with the Rashba over there. It's not Sfir Be'edayim because you're not causing invalid to an Issa. We're not going to go into that at this moment of time. Salt shakers. Has anyone ever seen, here in Israel, very common, has anyone seen salt shakers with pieces of rice in it? So you have those frumies out there that say, oh no, you don't have to do that, it's boira. Be aware of those people. You should take the salt shaker and deliberately start shaking it on Shabbos Kodesh. Right? That's what you should do. Why? Because that's not, I was once at a place, there was some Choshev Yidden there, big beards, and v'chulei, and there was something in there, a shaila of muktzah, whatever it was, and they were handling, with the thumbs, the whole zach. They were thumb backwards and forwards. There's a mutter, I don't know. There's a Pri Megadim. So what did I do? Simple yid. I go over to it, I pick it up, and I start moving it. You should have heard. There was like, oh my gosh, like what's going on, right? Or I'll take a baby bottle sometimes and put it on a table with fleischik on the table. Are you sure you know the halacha? I learned a couple of halachas in Boston V'chalav. I think I know that's mutter. Rabbi said, beware of those people. You're allowed to use a salt shaker with rice. What's the reason boira? The rice, by the way, you know they put the rice in there, right? It stops the moisture, right? Clogging up. So why is it mutter? Chesky, why is it okay? Svidov, ni? Finished. Anyone? It's always like that, okay? Anyone? Can anyone help me, please?
It's mutter.
It's mutter, yes, muskim. Why? Zevnu? Batal b'shishim, nice. Huh? You're not eating the rice, okay?
You want the rice is there for this reason.
Once again, and when we started boira, did the older guys not say we did this already?
The rice is there for this reason.
Ooh, we're getting somewhere.
You want the rice there.
Huh?
Still good.
I don't care.
I don't care? Okay. Shlomo Dov say, huh?
They're not a mixture. Good from bad.
Very good with a kli. Ouch! Rabbi say rewind, let's start shir all over again. The simple reason why it's mutter is the holes on the top, which, by the way, when you get to Simon Study Base, you'll see that it's not a problem of the zeh going in the salt, and you have to, okay, whatever. But Al Kapanim, when you pour the salt, the holes are not there to stop the rice. The holes are there just to evenly distribute the salt from going around, and therefore there's no problem with using such a salt shaker on Shabbos Kodesh. What about this? What about to pour the end of the chicken soup in the sink? Now, in the sink, in most places, you have a drainer, right? You want to make sure that you have almost like a mini strainer inside to make sure that it doesn't get clogged up, the pipe. So you have something inside the drain area, right, by the plug area. That stops the garbage from going down. So you can put it out and, put that in the garbage. But the liquid goes down. Is that a shiloh boira to take the huh? Ooh, it says Dobi Gavaldik. It's all garbage. It's bad from bad. Remember, it's not separating anything. That's beautiful. That's Gavaldik. Even though if we want to talk Lomdus, we can go with the second Be'alacha and junior test for the Machikas, the Rambam, if bad and bad is good. Someone said something? Bad from bad. There's no separation going on. Oh, beautiful. Couple more examples, Rabbi, so we have to finish. And that is, for example, if you have a ladle, and you have a ladle and you put it to the edge of the pot, and then you tilt the ladle so that all the liquid comes out. I just want a bit of lokshen, or I want some carrots, whatever. That will be a problem, because again, even if it's the good guy from the bad guy, but remember, I'm using a clean, that's always going to be mut asa. So what would be the case that matters it? This is the Eitzer Rabbi, it's the Eitzer Tov. I heard this from Rav Falk Zatzal. He said that when you hold the ladle inside, tilt the ladle, so that when you bring it up, it's already on a tilt, and therefore memela, the liquid comes down when I put it up, and therefore I'm okay. Perforated spoons using for the heilige chulant, right? A very common shaila, or you've got cucumber salad or coleslaw or whatever, and you take a perforated spoon, and of course a perforated spoon allows the liquid to drop from there. Is that mutter or asa? So be'etzem it should be asa, because by the way, any kli that's asa because of boira is going to be muktzah on Shabbos. Says agav, it's going to be muktzah. Now in the case of what we're dealing with, if you're not makbid that the liquid leaves, and you don't hold it over and you quickly use it in that way, then you would be allowed to use a perforated spoon, and the same would apply, or differently, to a tea bag. Now, I have no idea if you're allowed to use a tea bag on Shabbos. We'll have to learn Hilchos Special for that. Ayin Sham, look up the book. I don't know. But let's say somebody made it, or it was made, or somebody, I don't know. You've got a tea bag. To pull out a tea bag on Shabbos, that's an Issa Da'oraisa, a boira, because a tea bag is a boira monster. It is made in order to do boira between the tea leaves and the liquid that is inside, aliday the reshet, the net that's around it. So I've it's going to be a problem. A peeler, by the way, would be the same thing, because a peeler is made to do boira. Not only is it made to do boira, it's a shaila also of uvdin dechol. Now there is an igleital, there is a ksaysa shulchan that tainas that any peel that's normally eaten by roib and adam is going to be able to peel on Shabbos, but then you have an uvdin dechol shaila still in that case. But Ezra Hashem, tomorrow we'll talk about the sugya of miyad. What is the share of how quickly it has to be used after separating? Have a wonderful and beautiful day.